But here's the thing. The dream
Yeah.
was so vivid, I thought I had woken up. And we're back.
Hello.
Welcome to Chris and his love.
I'm the love.
Yes, you are. All the love.
Yeah.
Man, it has been a week.
Yeah, I feel like it's been kind of long.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, I just wanted to talk to you about something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cute little goose.
It may not be cute once you find out this subject.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no. No, it's all good. Dreams. I know you don't remember a lot of them. I know you don't maybe dream a lot.
Right.
Or if you do, you don't remember them.
Sure.
But when you do dream,
And I do dream.
dream, what kind of is it like a movie, like you're watching a scene? Is it POV? Is it third person? Like, how are you seeing your dream?
How am I seeing my dream? I see it most of the time it's POV.
Yeah.
It's like I'm assuming POV, point of view, obviously, but like
First person.
yeah, the first person.
Yeah.
Like if we're playing like a shooting game, like,
Right.
I see my
Yeah.
hands and the gun in front of me and everything else.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, if it's a nightmare, a lot of times it's more of out of body. I'm watching it happen.
Oh, okay. Like third person or like a show?
What would third person be like?
So third person would be like Scrooge. Can see everything, and actually sees the himself there, and is actually there but can't interact with the things around.
Oh, so it's watching a video, but he's in front of the screen watching it. So
No.
okay.
You would actually be in the environment,
Yeah.
but not able to not screen.
But can he see himself?
Yes.
Oh, so it's more like when he watches. So he's there watching, but it can't interact.
Right.
Okay, and then watching a movie would be he's not in the environment and he's just watching it happen.
Right.
I think a little of both.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give you an instance and you tell me.
Okay.
So one of like my reoccurring nightmares as a kid, there was this guy, like in real life, IRL. I'm so hip. There was a guy in a blacked out Camaro that would follow kids home from the bus stop.
Mm-hmm.
And he followed one of my friends home. Well, not home. She didn't like go home, or she and him. She and her brother, they did not go home, but he followed them for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And from then I started having like nightmares of being followed. I had some trauma as a child with someone who was older than me. And so a guy in a black car where you can't see, there was just this like fear that there was another someone that was going to hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I was alone walking, I would be really nervous that he was following me. In my dreams, the most prevalent one would be I'm riding a roller coaster. In POV, like in my point of view, I am riding a roller coaster,
Right.
and it like goes up, and then there's this long like flat part where it like turns before it goes down, right? So we're going up, and I'm like, yeah, this is so fun. And then as we turn, you can kind of see it's a really long roller coaster. And so as you come up and it starts turning, you can see behind you a little bit peripherally. And I could see someone climbing over the cars. Yeah, the roller coaster cars. And he is all black outfit with black sunglasses. So essentially the vehicle, but in man form. Like it's the guy in all black, wearing all black with black sunglasses. And I can see him. There's a few more cars in front of me. And at this point, where normally in a roller coaster, it's like up, you go around, and you go down. Like there's not a lot of time that you're going around and then down. It like slows, where like I'm moving quickly, everything is moving quickly, but the amount of time it takes to go around that bend is like really, really long. And so I see him as we're like coming up and going around, and I start being terrified. Now, at that point, from the time that I look down and I see him to the time that I determine I need to also start climbing to get out in front. Is it the safest thing to do? No. What am I going to do? I have no idea. But all I can do is run. Now, all of a sudden, boom, I'm in the air watching myself climb to the front. I can see him catch me. He throws me onto, so like we're going around the curve, but it's taking forever. Like we're up here and the curve is like, and for some reason I am now like, we're at the front of the cars and he has now thrown me onto the track. And nice yawn. He's thrown me onto the track and I'm trying to hold on, but I'm holding onto the track and not the wooden slats. And I can see then it switches to my point of view. I'm holding on, and the roller coaster car comes, and as it goes over my fingers, because I'm holding onto the track, he says, "I finally got you," and then I start falling and I wake up. So like it switches depending on like I don't know, I guess the input information,
That's a very vivid dream.
yeah, that was recurring for a really long time. But like usually in good ones, it's always POV. Like I am experiencing the dream. But as soon as like it turns into something else, like something is chasing me, boom, I'm in the sky and I'm watching myself get like chased by a dinosaur or whatever. Like it's as soon as there's like danger, I pop into the sky and watch it happen. And then when it's all clear, I come back into it.
That's interesting.
Why do you ask? What about you?
It was a thing that I saw, and I thought it was an interesting subject.
Yeah, but what about you?
For me, mostly POV.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think maybe always POV.
I don't know that I ever see myself watch myself.
Right.
I see myself watching myself, but I don't see myself watching myself. Does that make sense?
No. Try that one more time.
I experience like out of body watching, not me sleeping, dreaming, watching myself watch myself. Where like Scrooge is watching himself. if he were dreaming of that, his dream would be him watching himself. Whereas
Right.
like my dream is I'm seeing it happen.
Right.
Like I don't see my point of view is watching myself
Right.
rather than my
Well, at
point
that
of
point,
view
you're
being
not
watching myself watching myself.
actively in the environment,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is the difference because Scrooge was actively in the environment.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. That was contagious, your yawn. I don't know that I've ever.
That's actually false, but
Okay, well, it's real. I don't know that I've ever been active, like in my environment, and then just not been able to move things around and like watching myself. I've been in an environment where I cannot make things move, and people can't hear me or things like that, but I'm not doing it while also not interacting, but watching myself interact at a younger date or yeah. But you don't remember any, like, it's always POV? You don't remember any where you're not just watching it happen
no,
like a movie?
no, I don't think so. I think it's always POV.
Interesting. So you're always essentially just wearing like an Oculus and just like,
Right.
interesting.
Yeah. Whether it's dangerous or not, it doesn't switch for me depending on what's going on. So it's interesting to me. It switches for you depending on what's going on.
Yeah.
Kind of like movies. It's almost like you've got your own videographer type thing going on.
I don't know if it's like my brain trying to pull me out of the danger to be like, you're okay. Like you're watching it. Like it's not actually happening to you.
Right. But then why would it cut to back in when it's close? Like it almost is like you've got to see the whole thing, but then
I do know sometimes I am like, my point of view is this, and sometimes I'm looking straight down at myself watching the car go across my fingers. And I'm watching myself fall. I'm like, oh shoot. That sucks.
But do you ever get the falling feeling dreaming?
Yeah.
Dreaming that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's terrible. I can't
Oh,
stand
yeah.
that feeling. I can't tell you how many times and it's not like I was hot in my dream or whatever, but I have that falling feeling and then waking up in like a puddle of sweat.
Yeah.
And
Or
it's
like a cold sweat.
What the
Like
heck
you're
was
sweating, but you're
going
just like,
on? Right.
yeah, I don't know.
There is one time though that falling feeling was not a dream.
You fell out of bed after having a nightmare. That's it.
So we're continuing to lie about it.
Nope.
Continuing to lie. Interesting.
Nope.
Yes. There was no nightmare. Anyway,
I may have helped you out of the bed.
may have. You most certainly did.
You weren't awake to know for sure. So,
Huh.
What?
Interesting.
um,
But yeah, always POV. So like
interesting.
fighting, riding motorcycles, all of that fun stuff, all of the movie type heroics.
Did you have more good dreams or bad dreams growing up that you remember? Anyway,
Both.
like an equal amount, you think?
I don't know necessarily equal, but I do know there was one time that, and maybe this has helped my uneasiness with snakes. But so I was probably fourth grade.
Helped you to be even more uneasy, or helped
Yes.
like made you better?
I made it worse.
Okay. Okay.
I was probably fourth grade, third grade,
Okay.
the second time.
Sure. So after your grandfather passed.
Yes.
Okay.
Had a dream. I don't know if it was So I was at the elementary school and they did, the exotic animal guy.
Oh, sure.
So I don't know if it was pre that or post that. Like what day it happened.
Okay.
But
So you may have preemptively been terrified or had a bad dream because you were terrified of the snake guy.
right,
Okay.
right.
Okay.
Because he wanted you to touch it and it was just this cold skid. It was gross. And it had no legs and it was still moving. Anyway, so I had this dream
Yeah.
that seemed very, very vivid, like
Mm-hmm.
nasty creatures all over my room, right?
Like
Not on my
on
face.
you?
No, just around.
Just all around your bed. Like you're on your bed and they're on the floor?
all over.
Oh, on the walls, ceiling.
Yeah,
Okay.
all over.
Okay.
But here's the thing, the dream
Yeah.
was so vivid, I thought I had woken up.
In the dream?
No, I thought I woke up in real life. I was dreaming, but I think my brain feels that I've woken up.
But you're still in the dream.
Uh-huh. And there is a snake that is like on my like nightstand just going down the side,
Okay.
right? And
Okay.
I touch it. I was like, no way. There's a snake in my room. I touch it. And it could have been that it was a wood laminate. It was cold. So it felt the same. And it was smooth.
Uh-huh.
Freaked me. I woke up screaming.
Because you thought there was
Because I thought there were
were
snakes in my room.
Uh-huh.
Like on a plane. Only different.
Very different.
But
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
That would be terrifying. I don't like when I wake
freaked
up
me out.
and I'm not awake.
Mm-hmm.
When you wake up in your dream, you're like, okay, I'm awake. Phew. And then it keeps going. You're like, no,
Right.
no, where's the
Yeah.
door? I need out.
It freaked me out. Real bad. Goodness gracious, I can't quit yawning. It's crazy. Just not. Don't try to make it contagious. It's not contagious. You're such a dork.
I'm trying to get you to yawn again. Did you do it?
No.
Ow. I'm trying all like the different kinds. Like when you're trying to hold it and
You know what's really weird?
tell me.
Going on that subject
Yawning?
is, sometimes when I sing really low for a long time, then I'll yawn.
You have to yawn.
No.
When
I
you
don't.
sing like you're like, you swing low.
Yeah, but not just like swing low. No. Like,
If you sing
For
for
an
an extended amount of time, like a
extended-
whole song.
yeah.
Maybe because you're not taking
maybe a
deep
couple
enough
lines.
breaths. And you're
Maybe.
just like, and
Maybe
your
that's
brain's like, I need oxygen.
maybe that's what's going on right now. I'm not taking a deep enough breath and I'm just like, I'm tired.
Well, a lot of times that's what happens. Your brain needs oxygen, and as you're tired, you just stop breathing as deeply because you're getting like more relaxed. So you're doing it again.
I'm doing what again?
You're like, you're giving the yawn face. I'm holding it in, right? I'm doing good.
Whatever. Did not look like that.
I turn over, I look at you, and you're like, I'm trying to not yawn. Your face is red, your eyes are glassy, and you're just like, not yawning.
Maybe a little.
Oh no. Oh. I do like when I actually do. I have very, very vivid. Do you dream in black and white or in color?
Color.
I can always tell when you're yawning because your lip kind of goes. You're like, your lip goes up into your nose.
Maybe I'm smelling something funky.
I also dream in color.
Always color?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm.
From what I remember, yeah.
I mean, we upgraded to color TV, so as a society, so why go back the other way?
Yeah, I think I don't do much dreaming now. It's very rare that I dream now or that I remember that I'm dreaming.
Yeah, it's definitely gotten less as I gotten older.
What do you think
Dreaming
that means? Do you think that means we're not like sleeping as well?
could be that we're not sleeping as well. It also could be, I don't know.
I feel like it also could be,
Well, I thought I had something there, but
if you guys know, let us know.
no, it probably is the fact that we're not sleeping very well. It also could be, I would think maybe, yes, not sleeping well, but it could be other extenuating circumstances,
Like what?
like something else going on with your body, so therefore you're not sleeping as well, so therefore you're not dreaming. Also, imagination as you get older gets less and less and less. So I would
Okay.
think with less of an active imagination during the day, it would be less active imagination at night. So
I guess just having a busy brain doesn't equal imagination. I feel like I do have, there's lots of stuff, imaginary things happening inside my brain all day long.
interesting. I see. I don't. Yeah, you never talk about imaginary type thing, but you do talk about creative stuff. Are you saying that your creative stuff is imaginary, or are you saying other outside of that, like you're seeing ghosts?
No, I don't have an imaginary friend. Um, I come up with like, my brain's just always talking.
Uh huh.
So when I'm listening to a book on tape, no,
Oh, yeah,
an
for sure.
audio book, like this is definitely like
You're
movie
aging yourself
right here. Thank you.
Book on tape.
Okay, I thought maybe they would just scroll right past that. Yeah, so like if I'm listening to an audiobook, it's definitely very much a movie. It is hard for me when I'm reading with my eyes and not my ears.
You don't read with your ears.
Yeah,
No,
because it's a
you
book.
don't. Just because it's a book doesn't mean
Okay,
you're
just
reading.
listen what I'm saying. When I'm reading with my eyes and not my ears, if it doesn't capture my attention, if I can't like get into the movie, then I can read the same paragraph 15 times. And it's like that with like textbooks and stuff, which is, I remember being in school and just being like, I just can't like picture it in my head. And they're like, you don't need to picture it. You just need to like read it. And I'm like, great. But like, I don't know that I can. It was really hard for me to read textbooks to myself
Yeah,
to like stay focused.
You're not a just taking in information to take in information type person, because textbooks are very much just you're just reading the information to have it to regurgitate it. Like that's not the way you learn the
Right.
best.
Well, and like even like reading the Bible, that has been so hard for me. Like growing up, just it was like, oh, you have to read your Bible, you have to read your Bible, and I'm like, I know that I should, but I have such a hard time if it's not something that I can turn into a movie and like join and watch the movie in my head as it's happening. And so
Yeah,
then it
like
was like, oh, we'll just read stories. And I was
the
like, oh, I can
genealogy.
start. Oh my goodness, the genealogy. I cannot put like, I've tried to be like, okay, this guy,
The
and then
chart.
here's a
Yeah.
family, and this guy, and here's a family. And I can make this like tree in my head. And then because it's just a lot of information that I'm like trying to build,
Gets
then
uprooted
it's
and
just a
falls
tree.
over.
And I'm
Yeah.
just like, that's a nice tree.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot, it's supposed to be people.
Right.
But yeah, I remember I didn't realize that I enjoyed history until Hamilton.
Yeah, but I think part of you enjoying that though was the fact that it brought it to life.
Yeah, but in
It
that,
wasn't just facts on a page in a book.
yeah. I think if we had learned history more of instead of this battle, this date, this general. Oh, okay. Like it's just regurgitating information that why? Like it wasn't a lot of like here's
Yeah.
I don't know. It just wasn't. Maybe I'm just a really bad like I just felt like
No.
I get good grades,
No, it's
but
more of
I
like
am feel like a terrible student.
instead of here's the thing. It's not about terrible student. It is a thing about you want to know every inner working as to why the war came about, other than it was this person against this person. Main idea is this.
Yeah, but what does that do for you in the long run?
It doesn't do necessarily a lot for you in the long run, other than you're not doomed to repeat it.
Yeah, but if you don't know why it started, then you are doomed to repeat it. Just knowing that World War II happened doesn't say we're not going to have World War II again.
No,
If you're like, this happened,
it'd be
this
World War
happened,
Three.
this happened. No, I'm saying repeat it. I'm saying, another World War II. You have to understand, like, what happened. This guy had these ideas and really got people to buy in on him.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a lot more than just this guy hated these people blindly followed, and you're like, how
Mm-hmm.
how did they just say like, oh yep, we don't like people now, like something happened, and it's the something that happened that makes it be something for me to understand. If you just say there was Hitler, he didn't like Jews, well, it's more than that, and people always talk like, oh, well, he only didn't like Jews. Like, he didn't, but he didn't like tons of people.
Right.
And so it was like, oh, okay. So it was more than like he just wanted this superior race. Okay, not cool. And then he got people to join him, and then people were like, that's not cool. And they fought against him, and it ended. Like,
Mm-hmm.
There's so much more in there that makes it something to understand of why we don't do this again.
Yeah. Well, for me, it was always like, well, you don't want to mass genocide people because that's wrong.
Obviously.
But it wasn't until I was an adult that I found out about the whole inner workings of like the fact that just like in any other politics, he othered the other people that he didn't want around and made them an enemy, and people bought into that. So therefore they were all for turning in the Jews.
And
Because-
the others.
Right.
Like all of the others.
But
Yeah.
mostly Jews.
Here's like, so when I was talking about Hamilton, when we watched Hamilton for the first time, I was like, wait, did that really happen like that? And he's like, I mean, essentially, yes. And I was like, I don't know that I ever learned that in school. There's no way that in school at some point that I didn't learn about the American Revolution. But I can tell you for a certainty, I did not remember most of what happened in history. I knew they got mad and they came over. And I was like, cool, let's start a new country. Da-da. Like, that's it. And I was like, wait, what? And so Like learning about history, it's like, oh, like, I don't know. There's
Well,
a lot of school that was really hard for me.
it's also so hard to also realize it was like 20 years in the making. When we read through it in history class, it's like bingo, bango, done.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, yeah, it must have been a short time period. No, like the whole Revolutionary War, like declaration and all that time frame was like 20 years. That's
Yeah.
a long time.
Yep. That's information I still didn't know. Like, yeah. I don't know. If I can't turn it into a movie, it doesn't, which makes textbooks, just reading, nonfiction sometimes is just really difficult if it's dry, if I can't like see it happening. So
You definitely like storytellers in any type of information that you're getting.
and it's not to say I didn't try. Like
No, it's just it's the way your brain works.
yeah,
If it's not a story form, you're just not going to hold on to it very well.
correct.
And sometimes not even that very well. Because you will get in halfway into a show and you're like, oh yeah, we've seen this.
Yeah, that is. Or in a movie. Like, have we seen this? And you're like, yeah, we've seen it. I'm like, we haven't seen this. Read through the synopsis, watch the trailer. We haven't seen this. And he's like, okay. We get halfway through and I'm like, oh, I know the ending. And he's like, so you don't want to watch anymore? And I'm like, well, now I want to watch something I haven't seen. He's like, you didn't know the first half. And I'm like, yeah, but I know the second half.
Yep.
I know it now.
For sure.
I don't
But-
really enjoy reading the same thing over and over or watching the same thing over and over.
Mm-hmm.
Like some people can just watch the same thing over and over and over. And I have a time. If I know how it ends,
Did you ever do that as a kid?
watch the same thing over and over.
Or like the same song over and over and over and over?
I do the same song over and over.
Yes, you do.
It would be like, this is before there was streaming music. I would record the
radio.
song
Yeah.
from the radio and I would play it and play it and play it. Or it was harder on a cassette tape. So I would just like listen to the thing over and over. But when CDs came out and I had a CD man or Discman, or I was driving and I had a CD player in the vehicle. Oh, that was bougie.
Yeah, you burnt holes in the disc, didn't you?
In the line, like in the disc, there would be lines, like grooves, where I would listen to one song on repeat because I was obsessed with the song and I had to know every word. But at the same time, if I were to just sing it, like just start from the beginning, most of the times I wouldn't be able to sing it all the way through 100%.
Which is weird. Because I was that way with movies. And I could tell you every line.
Could you do it without the movie being on though?
I don't know.
That's the thing.
A lot of the times I could do certain parts of it because I had seen it so many times and I thought it was like hilarious. So therefore I was doing it around the house.
Sure. Like for me, Princess Bride is one that I can watch. Not all the time though, is the thing. I love Princess Bride.
Matter of fact, for this talking that we did, we watched until we found out the iocane powder thing, and then we're like, okay, we're done.
Yeah.
We were gonna watch the whole thing.
I love that. It's my favorite movie. And I watch it at least once a year. But I can't watch it over and over and over because then it just becomes another noise for my brain to tune out.
Mm-hmm.
But while it's on, I can quote almost the whole thing. Could I quote it just starting now? No. Like, it has to be in the context of where I learned it.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I have a song going that I knew a long time ago, if the music starts and it's going, I can then do it. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But there are songs like when I was on the worship team at our church,
Mm-hmm.
I knew those songs and I knew how we were going to do them. I knew like the whole format of what we were doing. And I would be terrified that I was going to forget something.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you
if
think
I
some of that
closed
was
my
part of your
eyes,
test anxiety stuff, though?
possibly.
Hmm.
If I didn't have my music that I read off of, that I made my annotations on, if I left it at home and I had to use something else and it was like a different format, I couldn't remember where I was. Because in my brain, even when I was closing my eyes, I was following along in the sheet in my head. And if the sheet in my head didn't match the one that was now in front of me, I would get lost. Even though I knew everywhere I was supposed to be going.
Mm-hmm.
If I looked up and the word wasn't correct or the page wasn't correct, I was completely lost. If I just kept my eyes closed, I'd be fine. Or if I had, if it was, it's so weird.
That is weird.
But I was terrified.
Mm-hmm.
And now, even now, like a lot of songs, I cannot sing all the way through. Like if I were just to start singing now, I couldn't sing the whole thing. If the music is on, I can do it. But it's almost like I have to do it in the context of when I learned it.
I wonder if maybe, because that's weird to me, because in high school, I had to learn at least 3 to 4 songs every year that I wouldn't have music for
Right.
in performing
Right.
because we weren't allowed to have the music while performing.
See, and when I was in like youth choir or other things like that, and you had to memorize everything, that was very different.
So what changed, do you think?
Well, one, it's very, very rigid. And and so, and with like worship team, like it's rigid, but it's also like
Some are.
you're not standing like this. You're not just like, and usually I wasn't singing melody. So my brain actively was reading the music in my head as I was singing it. I can't read music anymore. That's not that. It was like, it was following along and it was like, okay, we're on this page, flip. We're now here, flip. We're now here, flip. We're going back, flip. Like it all happened in my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, it's weird. Like, we've played the same ukulele songs when I was in the ukulele band for work. We played the same songs for like 6 years. And I could not just go and remember like, oh, well, this song is these 3 notes and just play it. Like some people pick up the guitar and they just can play. Like this is what this song's chords are and just play. I cannot do that with the ukulele. I have to have.
A lot of times it's like 3 or 4 chords and then the rhythm. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah. And I cannot remember what notes are in certain songs.
Yeah.
I know that they probably are a lot of like C, G, A minor, F, because those are like the easiest in ukulele. But even at that, I don't know which one comes next. Like I would have to do it and then like remind myself the way that it sounds, and then I would constantly have to be thinking about, okay, now what's next? Okay, now what's next? It's not just like C, G, A minor, F, C, G, A minor, F. Like it's I either have to watch it or like I have to have the notes if I'm going to be able to sing with it. Otherwise, I am completely focused on.
I think if you were to do the same song, probably multiple times, but also force yourself
To do it without
to do
music.
memory, I
I
think
have
you would. I think you would get it.
I have tried when we were doing like Christmas stuff or if we're getting ready for a luau or whatever, we were playing the same songs every week for months before the performance. And yeah,
Mm.
and I still um there's one that I know, but it's not one that I am lead on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only and I don't know the notes. I only know where my fingers go because they're like weird bars.
Mm.
But I don't actually know the chord
Mm.
that I'm playing. I just know this is where it is. And I think it's like an E6 and a B something something. I think there's an A
Mm.
and then something down here. I just know where to put my fingers and when to move. But it stays in the same rotation in verse and in chorus. Like it
Right.
just stays in the same pattern. I don't have to change the pattern. It's, but I'm not the one that's leading the vocal in that.
Oh, why are you
You little
laughing at me?
Yanni. Little Yanni.
It's been a long day.
It has been a long day.
So,
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe some of it is just the way that my brain learns or if it's like the 10 concussions.
could
That
be.
there's like some stuff that just doesn't stick now.
Could be.
But I don't remember those things sticking before the same. So who knows?
Who knows?
I like that your brain remembers things though.
Most of the time.
Yeah. You have a good brain for learning and memorizing.
It's okay.
Mm.
It used to be better. But
Yeah, well, we're getting older, honey.
shut your face.
Love of my life.
Shut your face. Okay.
We're just getting a little bit closer to growing old together. I love that, Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
So cute with your little salt and your paprika.
Uh-huh.
Okay, he wants to go now. He's tired of hearing about his age.
It's not just I want to go, but it's getting late.
And now
It's
the
time.
time is near.
Yeah.
Something, something. The final curtain.
Yeah.
Not the final, just like tonight. Good night,
Yeah.
everyone. Good night. Bye.
Bye.